Hi everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. And first of all, I'm so sorry that the review session. This is the review for final, and this video was delayed. So sorry about that. So today I'm gonna briefly go over the topics that we covered during the semester, and I'll talk a little bit more about the final exam, and then how how you can prepare the final test. Okay, so all right, first of all, our final schedule is based on the university schedule. So the final exam, our final party will be on Friday, May 1st, from 12 to 2 p.m. on Friday. So you have a full 2 hour duration to solve the problems. And then like, um, um, oh, this was we had a take home. So, okay, so you will have 15-minute extra time to take your work into pictures and then convert everything into one PDF file and upload it on the Blackboard. So you within these 15 minutes, you're gonna make this one PDF of all of your work and upload it onto Blackboard. Okay, so you have 2 hours of the exam and then 15 minutes to do that process. And this final exam is comprehensive. Honestly, I know this is a very different situation, right? We used to have it as an in-person to take the exam, on a printed paper, but now it's online and it should be open book, right? So my focus is this time, I want you to learn and understand the topics and understand the concept that we went through this semester. So I expect that the exam is not going to be difficult at all, right? Because you all have those materials, and if you went through the video clips, and I know all of you, I would say, came to my classes most of the time before the spring break. So as long as you follow through the video clips that I uploaded on the Blackboard, it should be really, really not easy, but reasonable. Okay. So anyway, it is a comprehensive test. That means it will cover all the contents that we went through from chapter 1 through, so chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are all from the textbook. And then we had separate materials like ASC 7 or IBC to cover the seismic design procedure. We also covered the seismic fragility analysis based on my thesis and some other PowerPoint presentation materials. And then at the end, we covered a series of the PE practice problem sets. So those are the topics that we're going to cover during the final. So chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the remaining will be covered for the first time. This one was covered during our midterm number 1, and it was by midterm number 2. Oh, there should be a 1, right? So, and then the remaining materials are seismic design procedure, such as base shear calculation, period calculation, to do the base year calculation, you have to have an understanding about the S1, SS, you know, the R factor, the importance factor, and those kind of thing, right? And when you have a base year, you should be able to break it into the equivalent lateral forces for each floor level, okay? And then we finally cover the PE practice problems. And I went through the problems and provided all the answers for these problems. So, and those are available in the video clip. In seismic design procedures, um, those are all the materials are available. For chapter 4564, I said it was not really covered in the midterm number 2. The only reason is because we covered the concept, not the calculation problems. The chapter 5 for the numerical evaluation, chapter 6, how we can apply the structural dynamics into the earthquake engineering. So we went through a couple example problems from the textbook. So I just want to, I suggest to you go over the review session for midterm number 2 again. For first 3 chapters, we started with this equation of motion. Oops, see that. So the full generalized equation looks like this. E of t. So this is the equation of motion. When we include or ignore the damping, right? So depending on the C value, if C is equal to 0, if C is equal to 0, then it's going to be undamped system. This is going to be the damped system. And then depending on P of t, this is 0 or not. If P is equal to 0, then it is free vibration. It's going to be forced vibration, right? And we also talk about the mass, stiffness, damping system as a single degree of freedom system, how to calculate the natural frequency, natural period. So all those were covered in the first 3 chapters. By the way, you will see the conceptual problems, especially for the PE practice problems. We went through those couple of problems in the practice problem sets. We also you also expect to have a calculation problems. I don't think there's a totally different or the new format or new totally different type of the problems are going to be on the final exam. I do not think. Okay, so if you review the problems that we covered in the classrooms or through the entertainment package or through the exams, um, um, review the materials and you're confident and familiar with those, you should be good enough to be good on the test. Okay, so oh, one more thing, the fragility analysis. So I missed that one. So fragility analysis, for example, using the Prism software, so that you have to have an understanding about how you apply the period to find out the corresponding spectral acceleration, and that spectral acceleration is going to be the input on the fragility curve to find out the probability being in each damage state and so on. So just review the material, the PowerPoint presentation. If you have any problems or any questions available before Friday, I should be available. So shoot me an email. If you want, I can set up the WebEx session one-on-one so we can go through the problems together. Otherwise, just enjoy the material, enjoy the exam, and see you on Friday. During your exam time, I should be available as well. So even during the test, if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. That should be fine. All right, thank you again. And I really appreciate your patience and your hard work during this semester. Especially, we had this unexpected situation um, during the spring break season. So after spring break, everything changes to the remote instruction format. So even though we had that unexpected event, you followed through the most of the time, and then you did well. So I really appreciate your patience and your hard work. And one more thing, I'm gonna put it on my email, but so I'm gonna post this review session under week 16 folder on Blackboard, and exam will be available on that folder as well. And then there will be one more item, which is called the course outcome survey. So that what it is that you remember the syllabus, I list out all the goals that I'd like to fulfill throughout this semester, which those goals are going to be uh, mapped into the civil engineering program outcomes. So through this survey, you will say that this class and these lectures and series of lectures will meet that, fulfill the meet that goals or not. Okay, so I'm gonna post that survey, make that available on Friday. So after the exam, please complete that survey as well. So I'm gonna summarize that in my email. All right, that's all. Thank you. See you later. Bye.